know when to go high and know when to go low. Use the high setting if you need to cook a more tender cut of meat quickly, but for the tougher cuts, it's just logical. Use the low setting and go slow and low, and it'll come out a whole lot better. So, all right, this helps me a lot because I do want to take recipes that go from the oven, or I'll see one that's for the oven, and I'll think, well, how do I need to put that in my crock pot so I can leave, and so this little chart kind of gives you a handy reference point. So if you're going to go from high to low, that kind of thing, how to change it up. So I know y'all can read, and one of my pet peeves is going to meetings where they go over everything that you're like, I can go home and read that. But in case it might trigger a question with you, then I thought I'd go over it. Okay, no peeking. 2 people in my house got yelled at this morning because they peeked. I didn't even know they were awake, and nobody ever comes in my kitchen but me unless I ask. So suddenly, my husband was like picking up the apple bread pudding lid, and I hollered, and that did not come over very well. Yeah, we were all talking about husbands hollering this morning. I hollered. But anyway, and then my 15-year-old walked down the stairs and went, and pulled it off too. But a lot of the recipes are, seriously, don't take the lid off. That steam inside is very important to keep it in there. It doesn't seem like a big deal to check, but not only are you slowing down the cooking time, if it's meat, you're getting temperatures into a dangerous, zone, which with some of the work I do, I've had to take those health safety classes on cooking, and you really realize how serious it is to keep meat cold or hot. I mean, that in-between time, and a crock pot has that danger zone, if you're not careful. You don't want to set the timer on your new KitchenAid crock pot and go to bed with a roast in there, sitting there until it comes on. You need to cook it. Use that timer judiciously, that's our word. But anyway, yeah, so don't lift the lid while you're cooking. Number one, it messes up what you're cooking, but you're also, you don't want to make yourself sick or whatever. So,
that's very interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, no, I know. These are all, that's why I thought, I don't want to talk down to you. If you're good with crock pots, you probably know this already, but I never thought about that. And sometimes not stirring. Don't stir unless the recipe tells you to stir. Don't just think, oh, I'll just stir and see how it's going, but leave it alone and it'll do its thing better. And then I couldn't think how to word that new models cook hotter, and then I got tickled the way I and I thought I better leave that one alone. But anyway, new models cook hotter, yeah, as you would expect. But so if you have an old crock pot, it's going to cook slower and lower. And I got that information from like a Consumer Reports. They did all these testing on crock pots, and every single time, all the new ones, their low is hotter than the old low. So you just have to, if you get a new one, you kind of just have to play around with yours a little bit to figure out how yours cooks, and logically to do that. But just beware, if you have a new one and you're used to an old one, it's going to cook differently. And then the size of your crock pot matters too. You can't throw if the recipe calls for a 3-quart, use a 3-quart crock pot, and you have a 6-quart, you're going to have to adjust for that either with time or double it, or does anybody have more than one crock pot at home? Do you use yours, like, tell me how y'all do you use that for size? Is that why you do it?
We have a smaller one and a larger one.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do.
I only have, this is my old one, and this will be mine by the end of the day. Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, but yeah, I know. So if the recipe calls for a 3-quart cooker and you only have a big one, it's just a little math. Reduce the time by a third, but those are little details that are going to help your recipe really succeed or not. If you don't do that, it sounds elementary, but it is going to mess you up, or you're going to run out of liquid and it's going to dry up. That may be part of what y'all's deal with your roast. It sounds like you're pretty experienced. He has the ultimate original slow cooker. He solar cooks. He uses the sun to cook. John does.
I have a solar oven.
I know. So
You can cook. People think it only works in the summer when it's hot, but it has nothing to do with the ambient temperature. It's actually the rays of the sun, and
I bet it's delicious.
you can cook anything. You can cook. It comes with a pot, covered pot, and everything.
Did you build it?
No, you can build them. You can actually build one out of a pizza box. There's a place online show you how to do that, but no.
Like a cardboard box?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You can build them out of a cardboard box.
We're digressing here.
But anyway, it was about $250, so we bought it online, and if the electricity goes out,
Yeah.
really?
Well, I'll eat at John's.
Yeah. Down in the man cave.
Oh We have water too. We have bottled water. If anybody needs any, just raise your hand, we'll get you one. You want one? Yeah, yeah. Yes, I know.